Russ Hancock, CEO and President of Joint Venture Silicon Valley. Russ has been such a critical partner to our work in Silicon Valley. The credibility and leadership of Joint Venture is well known far and wide. In fact, when Joint Venture gave a letter opposing Assembly Bill 2145, that sent a wow around Sacramento. So, without further ado, Russ, I'd like to welcome you to the podium.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's a delight to be in front of you. I'm honored to be in front of you. It's so important that we gather in this way. The work that you are undertaking is crucial. I honor you for the role that you play, and we're delighted that you would choose to meet in Silicon Valley. Now, I'm the President and CEO of Joint Venture Silicon Valley, and I just want to tell you a quick word about our organization, and then orient you to what we think you're going to be experiencing today. Joint Venture Silicon Valley is this organization that tries to put a framework over the entire region. It is a group that brings together our elected officials, our business leaders, our labor leaders, our college and university presidents. They all sit down at the joint venture table, and our mission is to tackle Silicon Valley's problems and opportunities, whatever they might be. And so you'll see Joint Venture doing a great deal of work on tax and fiscal issues, and education, and disaster planning, resiliency, just a whole host of things, education. But importantly and significantly for this group, we're also working in energy sustainability. We have what we call our Climate Prosperity Program. It was launched in 2009. It's now an award-winning program, and it's multifaceted. The logic behind it is simply that the climate crisis represents one of the most significant challenges facing the planet, but it also represents one of the most significant opportunities. And we see it as an opportunity for Silicon Valley to provide leadership, for the state of California to get out in front, but also as an opportunity for us to be innovative, creative, dynamic, and to create new products and services that grow the economy. And so we call it our Climate Prosperity Program. It has four components. One is our Public Sector Climate Task Force. This gathers all of the sustainability leads from over 40 cities throughout Silicon Valley. It includes our Renewable Energy Procurement Program, and through that program, we have put together more than 40 megawatts of solar that were procured for public facilities throughout Silicon Valley. It includes our SEEDS initiative, that stands for Smart Energy Enterprise Development Zone, and that's an effort to grow a portfolio of public-private projects that are innovative, focused on smart energy, and these projects are meant to improve sustainability performance in our local energy systems. And then the last component is what we're calling mobility as a service, and because, as you know, one of the largest contributors to greenhouse gases are the combustion engines. We're trying to promote transit and other alternatives, and we're doing that through this mobility service software that we're trying to make fully integrated and interoperable. So it's possible for you to use an app on your phone and plan your trip using every kind of commute mode, public or private. So that's some of the work that we're doing in our climate prosperity portfolio. Now, I want to tell you about Community Choice Energy and where we come down on this. Since 2013, we've tried to be strong and instrumental on this important area. And in September 2015, our board of directors voted unanimously to take a supportive position on Community Choice Energy. And we did that because we believe it provides more competition and more choice in our local energy markets. Now, many of our member organizations are now going full force on this. San Mateo County, for example, is forming a community choice agency. It's called Peninsula Clean Energy. Here in the South Bay, several partnering jurisdictions within Santa Clara County are now forming a new agency. It's going to be known as Silicon Valley Clean Energy, and we've been working especially closely with this group. We're delighted about it, and you're shortly going to hear from Mayor Ricardo of San Jose, and San Jose has become the most interested party to this development. We're delighted about that. These efforts have been motivated simply because our communities view community choice as the single most impactful and cost-effective action that they can take to meet their climate action planning goals. And so we're trying to be as supportive and helpful as we possibly can. We consider this a very exciting development. The prospect of expanded access to clean energy at competitive prices on a region-wide basis is compelling. However, that being said, the joint venture, we want you to know that we see something even bigger and even more exciting taking shape. And that specifically would be that community choice represents for us an important new community-centric force. And that's one that hasn't existed before. And it's a force for whole-scale transformation of our energy systems and a build-out of our clean energy economy. So we see this as an opportunity. We see this also as a challenge, and we're ready to tackle it. Now, you're steeped in expertise. You understand this even better than I do. I'm a guy that runs a nonprofit organization. I don't thoroughly understand these issues. And so I'm going to tell you where we're coming from as an organization, why we see this as exciting. And then, of course, you're going to spend the rest of the day putting the meat on the bone. But I want to talk to you about two things that I really like. One would be cake, and the other would be pie. Two of my favorite desserts, okay? So I'm going to use these to describe what we're talking about. So first, let's talk about cake. Now, historically, the way my simple mind sees this is that our utility model has been like a three-layer cake, except that it was missing its middle layer. That's how we tend to look at it. So the top layer would be your investor-owned utility. And these are the for-profit entities. They operate without competition. And in return for that right, as you well know, they are publicly regulated, and in this case, by a 5-person state-level commission, the PUC. So that's the top level of our cake. The bottom level of our cake is all of the customers. And there are millions and millions and millions of them, highly differentiated business customers, residential customers. And what's interesting is that the IOU, the investor-owned utility, is serving those customers in a one-size-fits-all kind of approach. And the simple fact, it's not a criticism, but it's just a fact that new programs and new offerings often take years and years to develop. So there's little in the way of customer leverage or community influence in this model. Now, the reason we're excited about community choice energy is because it adds that middle layer to the cake. Community choice agencies are ratepayer-funded public entities that are governed by local elected leaders, and they are accountable to local residents and businesses. That's the key. That's the thing. Their reason for being is making progress on climate action plans and to help drive this transformation toward a cleaner economy. And importantly, these community choice agencies that we are creating and seek to create are tightly connected to those who drive municipal policy. Policy, investments, incentives, and all of these things can play a major role in rolling out new energy systems on a regional scale. So, in essence, we have an entirely new organizational entity, this middle layer of the cake, it added to this equation. And it's one that is locally chartered, it's one that is funded and serves a clear economic purpose, it's one that is staffed with energy expertise, it's one that is well connected, it's capable of leveraging local planning, public works, economic development functions. All of those things can be bundled in. And, of course, it's local. It's locally governed. It's public. It's transparent. And so this is the reason why we're so excited about community choice. It's representing a fundamentally new organizational platform to make this transition to a cleaner economy. We've never had a three-layer cake before. Okay, now let's talk about the pie, my other favorite dessert. Okay, so this pie represents all our greenhouse gas emissions. And, of course, the first order of business for community choice entities is to deliver greener electricity, right, at a competitive rate. Well, here locally in Silicon Valley, electricity usage equates to about 30% of our pie, of our greenhouse emissions pie. If community choice agencies were initially able to deliver electricity that's, say, 50% less intensive than the IOU, well, that immediately takes out 15% out of our pie. That's a big bite. That's fantastic. And that's a percentage that can only go up from here. The thing is, that's only just the start. There are other slices of our pie. For example, transportation. I think you know this. Transportation represents 45% of greenhouse gas emissions, at least here in Silicon Valley, where my organization is measuring these things. So, the electrification of cars and trucks, currently fueled by gasoline or by diesel, that has the potential to take a huge bite out of this pie, the biggest piece of the pie, frankly. And especially if that electricity is coming from green sources. So, we need this, but to do that, we need more charging infrastructure, we need policy support, and we need innovation, frankly. And that's what we do so well in Silicon Valley and certainly in California. Now, heating applications in buildings represents another significant slice of the pie, 15% at least. So, if we're serious, we're going to be talking about zero net energy building and electrification of space and water heating, and these can take a huge bite out of this pie too. But again, we don't see that happening in any effective way unless there are local incentives, local policy, local education, and local innovation. And so this, ladies and gentlemen, is where we see pie and cake going together. I'll just sum it up because I was flashed the 1-minute sign. A community choice agency provides clean, renewable, competitively priced electricity. Furthermore, by virtue of their charter and expertise, these new organizations that you are creating are perfectly positioned to enable the local deployment of electric vehicle infrastructure, zero net energy buildings, electrification of building systems, and all the rest. Now, my final point, there's something interesting here. In this new electrified world that we're talking about, our investor-owned utility, in our case PG&E, actually delivers more electricity, not less. We don't see this as a contest between us and PG&E. We see this as a partnership and an exciting one. They must remain our vital and essential partner. So, this is our challenge, ladies and gentlemen. This is also our opportunity. I salute you for being here. I salute you for the dialogue and discussion and the decisions that will be being made today in this conference. Thank you very much.